Pennsylvania Files. In northern Bucks County, there's a clearing in the woods where the rocks ring like bells. Hit one with a hammer and it sings. Hit the boulder right next to it. Same size, same color, same rock, and you get nothing. A dull thud.
Pennsylvania has musical rocks, apparently. Of course it does.
The place is called Ringing Rocks County Park. It's 123 acres of forest near Upper Black Eddy on the Delaware River. Inside the park, there's a 7-acre boulder field, a sea of dark stone punching up through the woods, piled 10 feet deep in places, and about one boulder in 3 sounds like a struck bell when you tap it.
1 in 3. That's about the rate I get out of bed before noon.
Geologists, mostly. The boulders are something called O.L. Ivan diabase, a dense, dark, iron-rich igneous rock that pushed up here as molten sheets roughly 200 million years ago. And the ringing ones and the dull ones look essentially identical. Same rock, same color, same density. No one's been able to tell you with certainty which boulders ring until you actually hit them.
So your hobby is going to the woods and hitting rocks. Pay goes harder than I thought.
Here's the weirder part. The boulder field shouldn't even be sitting on the surface like this. Geologists think it got there during the Ice Age. The slopes around it were frozen tundra, permafrost, and in summer the top few feet would thaw into mud. Boulders slid downhill on the mud, very slowly, for thousands of years. Then the climate warmed, the mud washed away, and the boulders were just left there. Stacked. Open to the sky.
Ice Age mud rocks. And the geologists know this. They know.
Now, in 1890, a local doctor named John Ott had an idea. Ott went out to a nearby boulder field called Stony Garden and tested rocks until he found 8 that rang at different pitches. He hauled them, 200-pound diabase boulders, into the meeting hall of the Bucks County Historical Society, and then he played them like a giant stone xylophone, accompanied by the Pleasant Valley Brass Band. He performed Home Sweet Home on the rocks.
Wait, a guy hauled 200-pound rocks into a town hall and got a brass band to back him up? Okay, that's actually kind of metal. Dr. Ott goes hard.
The story almost ended a few years later. D-Base makes excellent paving stone, Belgian block, and quarrying companies were already eyeing the field. In 1895, a banker from across the river in Frenchtown, New Jersey, bought the whole 7 acres out of his own pocket. His name was Abel Herring. He turned down quarrying offers, and in 1918 donated the land to the Bucks County Historical Society to keep the rocks intact.
A banker bought a rock field to stop people from paving it. Bankers usually don't do that. Don't tell anyone I said this, but Herring kinda had the right idea.
Skip ahead to 1965. A geologist named Richard Fass from Lafayette College in Easton hauls samples back to his lab and studies them with proper instruments. When you strike a ringing boulder, the sound you hear isn't really a single tone. It's a stack of frequencies, most of them too low for human ear to catch, that interact and produce the ring as a kind of byproduct. Fass could measure it. He could not tell you why.
So the rocks are humming at frequencies you can't hear. Cool. So I'm being yelled at by rocks right now and didn't even know it.
5 years later, 2 researchers at Rutgers tried something different. John Gibbons and Stephen Klossman drilled cores out of ringing boulders and watched what happened to those cores afterward. Over the next few days, the rock samples expanded, about 1 part in 10,000 of their own length, which meant the boulders had been holding internal stress, like a coiled spring, the whole time they sat in the field. Gibbons wrote it up for Natural History magazine. He called Ott's 1890 performance the first rock concert.
The first rock concert. I want that on a t-shirt. Coiled spring boulders, quietly humming for 200 million years, until some doctor showed up with a hammer. P.A., baby.
Of course, scientists aren't the only ones who've come for the rocks. Lenape oral tradition, as repeated by early settlers, held that the boulder field was uncanny. Animals avoided it, plants didn't grow on top. Folklore says compasses spin when you walk in. Helen Delano, a geologist with the Pennsylvania State Survey, went out there with instruments and tested all of that. The compasses worked fine, but she found one thing that matters. A boulder only rings if it's free to vibrate. So the mystery isn't really mineralogy. It's geometry. Two boulders, same rock, same age, but one rests on a hairline contact and the other one doesn't. Hit them, and one sings the long memory of an ice age. The other gives you nothing.
One boulder rings because it's free. The other one's wedged in and it stays silent. Honestly, that's the most relatable thing a rock's ever said.
The truth is out there. Stay tuned.